Hello and welcome to my channel. Probably wondering why does she have a mic in her hands? Cause I'm too lazy to put on the arm and all that jazz. Uh yeah, so I'm Chef Rich and I am a Caribbean woman living on a Caribbean island, as you probably already know. So yeah, I wanted to talk about island life a bit and why I chose to remain in the Caribbean even though all of my siblings have moved away to the US and have their US citizenship. Why I chose not to do the same, and why did I choose to stay on an island that's 68 square miles and the wind is high today? I'm outside, y'all. Yes, I'm outside. I'm by a bar, In the Caribbean, you can see we have a lot of these wooden bars, and we come and we lime. And I actually was just chilling in the garden as well. It's like a garden bar, picking some eggplants and making a meal, you know. And that's one of the things about living in the Caribbean that makes it so amazing is that you can literally grow food all year round. You can go outside to this day and find wild food, as I call it. You can go up to the mountainside and there are mango trees galore and coconut trees galore and goats and monkeys. And I mean, it's really hard to starve. You can go down the beach, any beach, down the bay, we call it, and you can just fish. You can pick whales off the rocks. You can do so much. And so I'm back. And as you can tell, I actually went and put my arm on. So yeah, I was too lazy to put it on. And then after a while, I felt kind of too lazy to be holding that mic all the time. So yeah, so as I was saying, I live on a very beautiful island. It's known as St. Kitts. It's actually a part of a twin island federation known as St. Kitts and Nevis. And years gone by, I would have said, oh, nobody knows about us. But to be honest, we've had so many scandals that, like, I feel like a lot of people know about us now. We are probably, I think, the smallest recognized nation in the Western Hemisphere, because we are only, well, St. Kitts is only 68 square miles, and Nevis is even smaller. I think is Nevis is how many square miles? 30 something, 40 something. How much it is? You terrible. It is not 10 square miles. I will put it in the description box because I should know this off the top of my head. But yeah, they call St. Kitts Sugar City because we grew sugar for so many years, sugar cane, the plant that your sugar comes from. Well, most of your conventional table sugar comes from. And Nevis is known as Queen City, and they grew mostly cotton. This is back in the day when our wonderful ancestors were kidnapped and enslaved and brought to the Caribbean to do manual, well, to slave in the sugarcane fields. St. Kitts was known as the mother colony for the rest of the English speaking Caribbean, in that they branched off out of St. Kitts and colonized the other English speaking areas. We were also occupied by both French and English at one point. So you will hear names like Deep Bay and Basseterre mixed in with the English names like Sandy Point, where I am from. So it's 35.9 square miles. Wow. Wow, it's tiny, but it's beautiful. Both islands are very beautiful. So yes, and we have sun all year. So yeah. So again, I live on an island, and why did I choose to remain on an island when all of my siblings moved out to the US? Well, I was born on St. Kitts. Two of my siblings, one was born in the US. She's now in the Navy, and she grew up most from she grew up here until she was like 18, 19. She was born in the US, and then mom moved back with her when she was like a month, and then she has been here. And so her whole life is island life. Like, she went to the US maybe once in between that time. and so she didn't really know much about the US like that. So she's very much an island girl as well. But she went up to check in at 18, and then we have a lot of family in the army and the navy, and they convinced her, well, join that. So I have an older sibling. He has been in the States even before that one, my sister, and he's married. He's in the States. He living his life. Also left here when he was about the same age, 18, 19. But I've always stayed here. I mean, I and it's strange because the things that I'm into, music and modeling and art, it would probably benefit me more if I would move to the US. I'll be honest. It probably would. Probably would. But I've always been an island girl by heart, and one of the things that I've noticed in the Caribbean is that we tend to get what you call a brain drain. Is that a lot of our people go off, they study, they go off for vacation, and never come back, and then we end up having like a lot of people who could contribute to the development of the country move away. So that has been something that has been on my mind for a lot. Like I've really been thinking about that and really not wanting to do that. So I've been here and I've been trying in my own ways to contribute. And I mean, I've been to the US and it really wasn't for me. Perhaps if I had to go to a state like Florida, I've never been to Florida or California, I'd probably enjoy it more. But I went to like the New York, Connecticut. Virginia was okay. And so I've not seen a lot of the more natural like states that have a lot of plants like and it just wasn't for me. Like I love traveling to other Caribbean islands as well. I've done most of my vacationing in the Caribbean. I do like that the culture is familiar enough but different enough so that it feels new. I do like that I can understand for the most part. I can find my way around very easily because it's basically very similar. And yeah, I do love my culture. I love Caribbean life. Frustrations, yes, of course. There are times when I go, shit, I'm gonna move. I'm just gonna take that green card and I'm gonna go states and I'm gonna live because think it's a shit. And you get frustrated because even being an artist, like even to find supplies, I have to order in everything we make almost nothing here. And that's one of the things that, my husband and I and our associates have been really trying to put the work into to change that and to get more manufacturing industries going and more agro processing and more innovative things happening in the island. So yeah, but when I do need like art supplies, clothes, like everything, even certain simple things, like you have to order it in. And then we have some be arches that we call customs. We if you do we have VAT and customs. So we have import duties, and I think I messed my shirt up when I was picking those things. As I said earlier, I went to the garden. I picked a whole bunch of eggplants, and I came out kind of scratchy. I wasn't dressed for it properly. So, anyways, we have customs and we have VAT, and so normally we say whenever you pay when you order something, be willing to pay for it again. It's like you get your stuff and you just have to multiply whatever you're gonna spend on the website times two. And then yes, we spend EC. So an EC dollar, $1 is about $2.70 EC. So that's almost 3 to 1. So yeah, you get that. It's expensive. Everybody love island life and love to come and experience it as a tourist. But you're coming with the Yankee dollar, you're coming with the US dollar, so you are at an advantage right away. But for us who live here locally, we a lot of things are priced in the range of the US dollar, but we make easy. So we are essentially spending $2.50 on most things. Most of the nice restaurants and everything they get more to tourists. So you're gonna be paying in US. Even rent, no, everybody want to be charging house rent in US. So it's crazy. Like The next time you vacation someplace, put yourself and imagine, well, what do the locals do? How do the, you go and say, oh, this is only 10 US. For us, that's $27, right? Think about how the locals are faring and stuff. And yeah, a lot of people will be like, I want to have an authentic experience. I want to go there and have a local experience. Well, you could never have a true local experience because you're not spending local money. You already have an advantage. But besides all of that, living on island is beautiful. You have no winter. You have basically, you know what to expect with the weather most days. We do have a hurricane season. It probably sounds terrifying to people who have never been through a hurricane, but it's not really that terrifying to us. Like our building codes have changed to accommodate that. Like we have a special way we build our roof, our walls, our buildings are constructed to a certain code. And even when the odd gangster storm come through, that pack a extra punch, like a category up there. I don't even call it categories because I ain't trying to call anything. We because we're used to it again, like we get mobilized really quickly here. Like the storm will pass and then the next morning or sometimes even when the eye is passing, because when the eye is passing it's calm, but you know that it's when the eye is finished passing, you're gonna have the tail end of the storm. But we'll get up, like people get up, you go out and the backhoes are already out there, electricity department guys are out there, the emergency response people are out there and they are cleaning up already. The only thing that would improve it for us is if we would employ more solar power, which is ridiculous because we have sun all year round, but we are yet to employ more solar power, which I hope we can really get done in the near future. So if we had solar power, that would solve a lot more issues. It would help us to get back on our feet even quicker after storms, because then you wouldn't have the lampposts falling down, the power lines being down, because you could essentially just secure your panels, and then after the storm, you do whatever cleaning up, and you're good to go again. You have power again, right? So yeah, being on a small island, some people tend to be small minded. Like my mom would say that all the time to me growing up, and I always thought like, really? But then if I'm honest, sometimes it is true. You're not exposed to a wide variety of people, cultures, so you tend to think a certain way and have very strong views. But it's not in a terrorist kind of way, if that makes sense. Like we're very friendly and we're very open to other people. But as far as the way we live our lives, sometimes we can be very narrow minded, choose certain careers only, choose to eat only certain things, choose to only go certain places, choose to just have certain attitudes and outlooks on the world. So I mean, yeah, it's a small space. Everybody knows one another. So people are more in a comfort zone, and sometimes what's normal, like to somebody overseas, might be such a radical view to people here on island. But all in all, it's more relaxed. It's a more relaxed lifestyle. I wouldn't say, maybe we're not as our stress level as far as financing. It's funny because I mean we don't have winter, we don't have a lot of the regulations that you have, like people have in the states, so we can tend to survive. Like you could knock up a shanty somewhere. Hope it's even harder now because government tries to monitor everything, but back in the day, like you could just knock up a little quartel, we call it, a tinning building, galvanized, or some wood you find someplace. If like homelessness is not something that we've seen a lot of, because again the weather is good, so most times you can just take up residence, knock up something, somebody allow you to put something on piece of the land, and you can go out and you can pick. There are breadfruit trees, guava trees, mango trees all over for free. You can go to the beach, and you can fish for free. And all beaches are public property in St. Kitts. No one can own a beach in St. Kitts. And that's another story for another time. That's because of like certain things that would have happened in the past. We still are recovering from, a legacy of slavery and colonization and, the plantocracy. So certain things were put into place to ensure that, locals would never, black people would never have to deal with certain things again. One of those being that you can never own the beach. Could you imagine living on an island and like resorts and other people own all the beaches all around? You're literally like trapped in the middle and you can't go to the beach. Some places actually experience that, but we don't have that. You cannot own a beach. The other day we had, and they were calling her Karen. We actually had I think they say she's a Russian, but she must have been here on citizenship by investment. Go look it up. That's a topic for not a topic for a whole lot of videos. Citizenship by investment. Essentially, if you have enough money, you can buy citizenship in Saint Kitts Nevis, and it has brought us a lot of revenue. It has brought us much needed investment, but it's very controversial, and it has brought us a lot of backlash in the international community. In fact, Saint Kitts being such a small country was the first to really pioneer the concept of citizenship by investment. But that's a whole. Oh, we have so many. Oh my God, for such a small island, we have so many scandals and controversies and what can I say? We small but we talawa. That's what we say. We small but we powerful. We small but we controversial. So yeah, so she was on the beach, and I guess she has a property close to the beach, and somebody forgot to tell her in when they gave her her passport. They forgot to say, "Oh, by the way, you don't own anything, B. You can't own this beach." So some kids were there training for a sports meet, and we like to train on the sand because of the resistance, blah blah blah. So the kids are out there training. I think it was a relay, and with the little coach and stuff. And she runs out and she's like, "Oh, you're making too many noise, too much noise. You're making too much noise, and this is my property. You cannot be on this beach." So everybody looking at her like, "What, me? On who beach, me?" And she was like all upset, and they were like, "Miss, you can't own the beach. Who beach there?" So anyway, she proceeded to lie down in the sand, I guess, trying to stop them, and the kids just like run over her. I personally would have jumped in she chest. I would have slipped and I would have fallen right in she chest. But the kids were so nice. You should see the little feet like leaping over her, trying not to jump on her. Like I would have given her a mouthful of sand. But anyway, maybe I'm not well behaved. But yeah, that made a lot of, and that made rounds all over the internet, even internationally on certain sites. Oh my God. See, this is part of where you live in a part of living on an island. A big ground lizard. Cause I'm outside, a big ground lizard just run across. I thought he was gonna run up by me, but okay, he's shift and he gone. I hate lizards. And we have these big iguana looking. Okay, they're not big like iguanas. Like some of them like maybe this big and this fat, but we call them ground lizards. And oh my God, they look tough. They just don't look good, and they roam freely. Like we live here too more the way. But anyway, it's gone. So yeah, it's a good thing we had those laws where you cannot own a beach. Those kids would have had to like vacate, vacate, and not be on the beach. Yeah, like Caribbean life is good. The politicians can be rather shady, but as I have so many videos I have to do, but there's a reason for that. And a lot of Caribbean islands are very young as far as being independent. A lot of us are just now, what this go? A lot of us are just now like really running our own show. Like as countries, like we've only been a country for 30 odd years. Some countries have been established countries for hundreds of years. We are not even 50 years. So a lot of it we're figuring it out, and we're figuring out that we have to put a lot of restrictions in place now, that we have to put a lot of fail safes in place to control these people. But I wouldn't say that our people are any more corrupt than any other country. I'll say that they have more leeway to be so. Because we have a lot of stops and checks that we have to put in place, and we are fairly young country, so we have a lot of work to do. We really, really do. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of constitutional reform to go through too. And even the history of us, like coming from people who really had nothing and being left on our own after being used for hundreds of years, and then told, well, we have all we need now, you go off and make a country and you run it yourself. And you don't have any, you don't we don't have gold and oil and all that. So it's a lot to figure out, and we're a very small nation as well. Most Caribbean islands are pretty small. So I mean, we have a lot of areas that can be improved, but we are still also, we're not doing too bad. You know, that's another video though. So if you want to know more about, if you feel like Caribbean leaders are very corrupt and you would like to know, well, what's my view on it, like why I think it appears that way, Caribbean and African leaders, it appears that we are so much more corrupt than the rest of the world. I do not think we're more corrupt than the rest of the world. I just think that we have less checks in place and less persons to call back the people when they're doing wrong, you know. But yeah, I love island life. I love being free. I love, nature. And on top of it, I really wanted to contribute to my country. I didn't want to be one who just up and left and didn't really want to see the development of my country. I don't think I've been able to really fulfill that. And again, because of politics is huge in the Caribbean as well, and it can be very debilitating. But again, another video, stick around, you will learn so much in my other videos. But it's a unique thing living on an island. So if you've ever wanted to move to the Caribbean and you're trying to figure out like how it's gonna be, yeah man, check my page. You find about food and island life in general, lots of different things, and I'll be uploading regularly. Gonna get my schedule up just now. But yeah, perhaps one of these days I might consider moving to the US, but for now, as of today, I'm good here. It has many challenges, especially business wise. It takes a lot longer to me to really be able to get established. For one, the population is so small that sales can be seasonal sometimes because it's based on tourism as well. So it has its challenges, but I'm committed to it for now. For now. So yeah, so those are some of the reasons why I chose to remain on my island and live in the Caribbean, even though almost all of my family members have moved to the US. Of course, they think I'm crazy, right? But I have my reasons, and as I said, for now, it works for me. So, if you would like to know more about me and my island of St. Kitts and just Caribbean life in general, stay tuned, like this video, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Chef Rich. Bye bye.